Hi, Jim here with today's thought. And today we're going to be talking about, well, the difference between this current Trump administration and the old one. And the main difference is his approval, which is really skyrocketing. I'm frankly surprised. Well, in a way I am, in a way I'm not, because the previous Biden administration, I don't know, well, our liberal friends, I guess, miss it, but that was so bad that for Trump, the only way was up. But I think liberals aren't taking it so well. There was, you don't call them tweets anymore, whatever it is on X, Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, just complaining, just bitter, not understanding why people, just bitter that we all seem to like Donald Trump this time around. And to show you how stark the difference is, well, it's not just that. I'm going to show you something else first, because also he's only been, it's funny, I hope everybody saw the Margaret Brennan CBS interview with J.D. Vance, his first interview since becoming vice president, and pretty much just, she's very liberal, and he just mopped the floor with her. But she was, I guess, asking why Trump had not ended or reduced inflation after being president for only a week. But in a way, he's been accomplishing so much in a week. He has signed, if I recall the figure, it's either 340 or 350. I think it's 350 executive orders that he's already signed. And I assume that since I heard that figure, that he's assigned more, and by the time you're watching this, the day after I'm recording it, that he's signed even more. I wouldn't be surprised, but I'm almost wondering why he hasn't, not just reduced inflation, but brought world peace and cured cancer and found the secret of life. I mean, he's been president for a whole week. Why hasn't he's moving so fast? I'm almost a little disappointed myself, but he's also, I'm going to talk about his approval, but first I just have to show you this other video. He's also having, let's go right to the video.
Gentlemen, this is your captain speaking.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you'll look at the right side of the aircraft, you'll see the Gulf of America.
One little caveat, that if you couldn't tell, that was a private plane. It wasn't a commercial flight, which would have been even better. But you see the influence that Trump is having. And by the way, Google has now changed its maps or whatever they have to change. So Gulf of Mexico is now Gulf of America. But I want to, if you are a Democrat, especially a liberal, you're going to be really distressed, but I'm really interested in what I'm going to show you now, this little chart of his approval. And, here's the chart. That is Rasmussen reports. They were one of the most accurate pollsters, if not the most accurate, but definitely in the top tier pollsters for the last election. You saw all these polls showing a very close election or Kamala Harris ahead, and they always had Trump ahead, which turned out to be the actual result. And I think they got the percentage pretty clear. So you're looking at this now. This is, look at this. Approval among white voters. Oh, these are likely voters, by the way, not just a general population. These are people who have a history of voting in elections. They are the most important cohort that you want to analyze as far as trying to predict election results. They are the most important. So white voters, 55%, but look at black voters, 57% approval among black voters. And that does not surprise me at all. I saw, the problem I have with these things is I have to do these very short. I wish someday I'd had enough subscribers and enough, viewers that I could do a whole longer video or even a podcast. There's so much I want to cover, and I always have to leave something out. We'll leave a lot out, such as this woman in Chicago, black women in Chicago, praising Trump for, they've already we're averaging about 1,000 unlawful aliens a day. These are ones with not just any unlawful aliens, but the ones with criminal records and the dangerous ones. And just praising Trump for getting these unlawful aliens out of Chicago, where when you have a mayor and a governor who not only aren't helping, aren't doing anything, but they vowed, there was a video of them vowing to resist ICE, Tom Homan, from rounding up and deporting unlawful aliens who are a danger, not just everybody, but they don't. I can't understand why except great, kudos to John Fetterman, seems to be one of the only Democrats who can or is willing to distinguish between dangerous unlawful aliens and less dangerous unlawful aliens, though they are all violating immigration law and they all have to go eventually. But anyways, so I'm not surprised to see Trump's approval high among black voters for that reason alone. But for other things, if you're listening, Donald Trump, you should make a big issue out of this, and that's school choice, because that hurts black people the most, who are stuck in these public schools with unionized teachers, and your kids. America is a 99.9999999% colorblind society. We promote on merit, especially now with with Trump as president. But unfortunately, and it's a sad fact, that a lot of black people are not succeeding on merit, cannot get the best jobs on merit, and it's not their fault. It's because they are stuck in these horrible schools that are not educating them. And that, Trump, you should make that, just as a moral issue, you should make that one of your main issues. Get minorities out of these horrible schools. But I'm digressing. So I just want to put in this other figure here, Hispanic and other. And Hispanic, I don't know who the others are, I guess, but Hispanic, 58% approval. Now, this is from January 23rd, and just to give you the full picture, as I always try to do, pledge to do. And his overall approval, approval rating, everybody together, all averaged out, is 56% on the date that this poll that I just cited for you was taken, which was January 23rd. Now, the day I'm recording this, January 28th, it's his overall approval is at 52%, which is still, it's above 50%. He's above 52%. So you can see that he is doing very well. He's off to a great start, and he's got a lot of, they talk about political capital, and that's what political capital comes from. They talk about, well, is Trump going to use up his political capital on this and on that, and then he won't have any political capital? Well, it's like these, I don't play video games, but I've seen them, I'm slightly familiar with them, and it's got, you go out and you shoot a bunch of aliens or whatever, and then if you get to a certain level, your ammo, you get a new weapon, or you get your ammo replenished if you get out to the level. And that's what I see for Trump. As long as he's performing, he's always going to be able to get another weapon or replenish his ammo and possibly have unlimited political capital. If he keeps going, I don't know. Personally, I don't know how he can do it. He's been such a whirlwind of activity in 2 weeks. He's 78 years old. I don't know how he keeps that up for 4 years, but I would not count him out on whether he's able to do that. But anyway, so I'm going to give you one last video. This is CNN. They seem to be, the Trump effect. CNN is changing too. Oh, Jim Acosta. It was just announced just before I'm recording this, maybe not even a half hour ago. He's leaving CNN because they were going to move him to a midnight slot. He's one of the most irritating reporters anywhere, but especially on CNN. You want my advice, CNN? keep Scott Jennings and the person you can hear from right now in a moment, Harry Anton, keep them and get rid of everybody else and hire all new people. They don't have to all be conservatives, just people who are at least a little bit objective or a little bit fair. That's really the right word. We're all human beings. We can't be objective, but we can be fair, which the difference between objective and fair is objective is calling all the shots right down the middle, no prejudice, you don't bring your personal opinions into anything. Fair is admitting that you have prejudices. I never, for instance, I make it clear I'm a conservative. Everything that I say, you should be evaluating from the point that I'm a conservative. I try to be objective. See, now that's the difference. I try to be objective. I try to be fair, but in fairness, I let you know that I'm a conservative, and it would be nice if these people on CNN would just admit it. And that I would just admit that they're a liberal news network. I mean, everybody knows that Fox is a conservative news network, and you have people like Bret Baier who are very fair, but then you have to give them credit. But then you have other people who, like Sean Hannity, are not, and nobody expects them to be. But at least you know. But anyways, I'm going to go now to Harry Anton, and this is another one. You can see he's just showing more approval actually of Donald Trump and the person. He's the polling guy. He's the guy who points to the big maps during elections and shows polls and stuff and results. And then a reporter questions him, reads the questions off the teleprompter or whatever, and he answers them. So this, I forgot her name. It doesn't matter. But this particular CNN reporter, talking head, whatever, is asking the questions, and she seems to be staying on a pretty even keel, but you can sense a little bit of disappointment, or at least surprise in the results. Anyways, this is the last one for today, last video, and here is Harry Anton.
What am I seeing? I just want to note how different things are from where we were when Donald Trump first took office, and how much more the American people are on the side of Republicans than they were 8 years ago. So trust which party more on immigration. You go back to April of 2017. Look at this. The Democrats held an 11-point advantage over Republicans. So Americans were not liking what Donald Trump and the Republican Party was doing back at the beginning of his first term. Look at where they are now, though. Poll out just in the last week. After Donald Trump took office, which party you trust more in immigration? Look at the margin Republicans are putting up here. A 22-point lead over Democrats. You rarely see issues in which the American people side so much with one party over the other. But on the main issue that Donald Trump has been pumping up and Republicans have been pumping up since the beginning of his term, that began just 1 week ago, Republicans lead overwhelmingly on this. It's not just unusual for right now. It's just so much different than where we were 8 years ago. It just gives the Republicans a lot more leverage.
And also, how are you measuring the boost, or how much voters, Americans, are liking, or what they're thinking about Donald Trump and what he's doing now versus Biden?
Yeah, we always talk about this right direction, wrong direction,
Oh, yeah.
right track, wrong track number, right? And normally, you might expect the right direction, right track number to be really, really low. And on immigration, what track is the U.S. on? You go back last month, just 14% of Americans thought we were on the right track, according to Ipsos Reuters. Look at that. The wrong track was 62%. Look how much the right percentage is up this month since Donald Trump took office. It's up 23 points to 37%, pretty much right next to that wrong track number at 42%. Still slightly more Americans saying we're on the wrong track than the right track, but the right track number has gone through the roof, up to 37%, a 23-point jump since Donald Trump took office. So the bottom line is this. Many more Americans are saying that the country is on the right track right now. They're liking a lot more of what we're doing on immigration than just a month ago in the Joe Biden administration. They're liking a lot more what Republicans and what Donald Trump are doing than what they thought of what Joe Biden and the Democrats are doing.
Then I assume that the trend is the same when you look specifically at Donald Trump on immigration?
Yeah, it's very similar. So take a look here. Job Trump is doing on immigration. Here you see it, 46% approve, 39% disapprove. You don't have to be a mathematical genius to know that 46% is bigger than 39%. Americans approve of what Donald Trump is doing in immigration. They're much more likely to trust Republicans' immigration than Democrats, and far more Americans say the country's on the right track with concern to immigration than they did under Joe Biden. Simply put, immigration is an issue that the Republicans and Donald Trump are going to go to the well over and over and over again because Americans are much more on their side than they are on the Democrat side.
And that's how it looks right now, which gives us a great baseline to compare as this crackdown continues.
We will see where we are 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, months down the road.
Absolutely. Great to see you, Harry. Thank you.
Great to see you.
And that's it for today. Thanks for stopping by. If you could subscribe, that would really be great. Your comments are welcome in the comment section below the video. Share this video with anyone you think would benefit from it. Most of all, come back and see me again. I would love to see all of you again. And until I do see all of you again, bye.